about a month ago, this was March 22nd, I believe was the date of the original tweet, Anna Kasparian shocked the online left world by asking to be called a woman. So just to refresh everybody's memory here, I'm a woman. Please don't ever refer to me as a person with a uterus, a birthing person, or a person who menstruates. How do people not realize how degrading this is? You can support the transgender community without doing this shit. All right. Now, she caught all kinds of incoming for this, including some very harsh criticism from her left peers. Olayemi Olurin and the leftist mafia didn't think that the criticism was harsh enough. So Ole, as she's called, put out a video on this herself, which we cannot play for reasons that I will get into in a moment. But this leftist mafia clip sums up both her and their takes quite well. So let's hear from the leftist mafia here. They had a sit down. The leftist mafia called a sit down about this. All right, so let's
struggle session.
Should be able to
struggle. Well, this is a sit down. This is the mafia.
This is a very, very important thing for them to have a sit down about.
Yes, a struggle sit down here.
And you should be able to mention those without like having to classify it as, but you shouldn't get mad at her for this because of her history. No, I mean, no one's mad at her for her.
What they're talking about is a lot of Anna's peers, particularly Emma Vigeland, which we talked about in a show a few weeks ago, because I remember we had Taya call in to talk about this. They went on to say, like, yeah, what she said was horrible, i.e., I want to be called a woman. Yes, that's an offense to humanity, but we know her and we like her, and our channels used to be part of the TYT network, and that's how we got our start, and that's where our bread is buttered, so we can't be too mean to her. But she's wrong on this, so that's what they're talking about there.
Change that person. I think it makes sense if you want her to change her mind and to understand what she did wrong. Because if it's just, if without that context, like, again, that's why it's important if you know her that you do include that context, because it's, she has to understand these.
Nothing like 6 cisgendered woke libs and an Illuminati cartoon lecturing a woman on how she wants to be talked about. Once again, we talked about this with Buck Angel. Is there a trans person on this screen right now? I don't see one. I can't speak to the cartoon, but is there one? I don't think so. I mean, maybe the cartoon. Like, they're just so confident in their allyship that they're willing to take this position as if they are advocating for the rights of an entire community, which, as we demonstrated in our interview last week, their position does not necessarily represent the position of the trans community as a whole. This is just a variation of the white savior complex here that we're seeing here. David Dole, well, we just have to explain to her how what she said was wrong, about how a woman asking to be called a woman, we have to lecture a woman as to how she is allowed to identify and how she wants to be talked to. It's up to me, white Canadian straight man David Dole, to explain to her why she was wrong to say, hey, call me a woman, not a birthing person. Pretty incredible. All right, here we go.
These disagreements are coming from an honest place, and we're not just.
You have something to add?
The Canadians know what they're talking about here. They're way out ahead of the rest of us on these issues.
All right, here we go.
Doing it for clicks, right? Like that's so.
No, of course.
But that's not the same. That's not the same, though. That's not the same.
I have to say it. Oh my God, I have to say it. I like Anna, but I feel a little bit like this is the coddle the white lady hour. And you know why? And you know why? I thought this even earlier, because before this, the Majority Report put out a thing too, and everybody else, and I was like, boy, everybody sure feels the need to trip over their fucking feet to come out to defend her for getting cooked when all of the people get cooked all the time. Nobody I have yet to watch a video of anybody defending me from getting fucking cooked. I've never seen it. I've never seen everybody come out. She has a lot of fucking bad takes, and then she gets cooked because she comes out unprovoked. She asked to be cooked. She got up today and she said,
she really has the toothpaste man going there, man. He's really laughing hard at that.
Yeah. Has anyone ever cared enough about anything that you said to cook you? So maybe if they did, people would come out to defend you. Nobody even knows who the fuck you are. What do you?
I mean, we don't get talking about. Not because we're nice guys. It's because not that many people know who we are.
Yeah. Eventually, that's when we'll know. That's when we'll know that we hit the big time, when somebody actually cares enough to make a takedown video about us. It's never happened yet. At least none that we've seen.
Well, the Vanguard tried.
They said some shit.
They
didn't
said
actually
some shit in
put
passing. They
effort
never
in it.
actually came.
No.
They never
Nobody
actually
ever
came.
actually took one of our videos and
Right.
broke it down.
Sir, cook me.
Right. Listen,
She has yet to delete the tweet. I want to make it clear. She has yet to delete the fucking tweet.
Wait, she hasn't deleted it?
Oh, she has not deleted the tweet where she asked to be called a woman. How could she leave that up? How could you leave that up? How could you not take that down? What are you, crazy?
And what is it?
I mean, this is better than the video where she was fixing her hair and not really paying any attention.
Right. Yeah, she's talking a little more to higher energy tonight. More energy. I like that.
More energy.
The thing that I don't understand is she's saying, like, does she not even understand that she should have already deleted the tweet? Like it's a social norm. Like it's an expected thing that she should just automatically realize that she was incorrect, wrong, should never have bothered to question it, should never have bothered to even say anything about it. And like, she's out of line just for leaving it up.
No, you know why? Because at the end of the day, she took a 106,000 like tweet. She didn't even get ratioed. She didn't even get ratioed. She'll be all right. All right. She didn't do it. Like, oh my God.
I saw that Majority Report video that went up. It's exactly what Emma said on the show earlier today. And when I heard Emma say it, I was like, Emma put it great. And then I saw them put it up with the title that says Anna Kasparian is not anti-trans. I'm like, that's not the point. Why are you putting that as the title of the video? That's not the point.
She's
This
not
is where
anti-trans.
and
The concern-
It was an anti-trans take.
The substance of the
Mike
viewpoint
Bender
she's
looks like a hairy
legitimized. You see what I'm
penis.
saying? The conversation has just shifted to defend. Like everybody's conversation is about defending whether or not Anna
Matt
is
Bender.
a
You
turf
wanted to
and
sit in,
blah
Tosca.
blah blah, rather than talking about the substance of what she put out and why that is offensive to legitimize and why it's a problem for
And being held responsible for it.
Thank
Like,
you.
like
That's the problem.
normalize large creators being
Look at these
called
Jerry
out and
Springer
being like, oh
motherfuckers.
shit, I was wrong. Like
This is great.
being held
Normal. I
responsible for it.
love the
Thank you.
quote from the toothpaste man here.
There's the Jerry Springer show for ineffectual leftists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Toothpaste boy here says this is a great point. Hold on, let me just play this at the
And
end.
why
Go
that
ahead.
is offensive to legitimize and why it's a problem for
And being held responsible for it.
Thank you.
Like
That's the problem.
normalize large creators being called out and being like, oh shit, I was wrong. Like
Normalize large creators being called out. Normalize large creators being called out. We need to normalize that. We shouldn't have to go out on a limb here saying, how could she not delete a tweet where she asked to be called a woman? There's the leftist mafia for you.
And yet this is the same like group of people that they go, oh, normalize calling out large creators. Okay, well, fucking call out AOC, call out Bernie Sanders,
Right.
call out
Yeah,
Joe
exactly.
Biden. You're literally supporting the most establishment people with the largest audience possible, and then you're sitting there and saying like, oh, this should be a normal thing to call it. Well, yeah, that's the reason why our side of the left has a problem with these people.
Right. Now, look. Now, this was neither the first nor the only time that Olayemi chimed in on this. She actually released a video of her own about this, which Anna apparently quote tweeted. And I say apparently because this is why we cannot show that video. LOL, the meltdowns over wanting to be referred to as a woman rather than a birthing person is pretty wild. I'll never apologize for that, especially as a biological woman who has had a fucking lifetime of being told I'm less than. I'm a woman, no apologies. Now, I don't suspect, I know that Olay has blocked me on Twitter, and so that is why I cannot see the tweet that she's referring to, which was Olay's, I guess, meltdown video. Like I said, that's an assumption, but since Olay blocked me, there's no way I can prove it. So if I'm wrong about that, Olay, it's only because you blocked me and I'm not able to verify, right?
Well,
so don't blame me. Blame yourself.
On the left mafia.
Well,
I crossed the left mafia.
If you look at
that's why I moved up to Albany, because I got the left mafia after me. I have to change my name now.
The left mafia. They found out where
going
you
into
live.
witness protection over here. Yeah, exactly.
If you look at the performance she put on there, what does it look like? What does it remind you of? It's like the Jerry Springer show, where the Jerry Springer show was this whole cathartic experience for the people in the audience, where you'd put up these people who had sinned and the people in the audience who clearly were not any great sheikhs themselves would get to feel better about themselves by standing up and going, I take care of my kids. Right? That's what this is. You asked to get cooked. That's all this is, man. It's just a big virtue signal circle jerk amongst people who I believe are going to be pretending they never said any of this shit in a couple of years when the backlash really hits. They're all going to climb right back down from this. This is all one big virtue signal, and it tells you all you need to know about these people. Anyone who doesn't have courage when it's hard to stand against something, you can never trust them because they're never going to speak out against injustice. Not really. They're always going to do what's easy.
All right. Well, in response to this, TYT did a live stream, and after a sort of close to end of show break, they came back on, and Cenk Uygur addressed those fleeing subscribers, the people who canceled their paid memberships at TYT. So here he is addressing the controversy with Anna.
I'll just say
this,
this,
by the way. So we're going to hear both of them, and this is the tweet. This is the clip that really made the rounds. So this is the most recent
one that I read. So I'll just say this. Okay, I love you, and it's okay. And if you disagree, it's okay. If you want to leave, that's okay. Okay. Thank you for being a member all this time. I appreciate it. But
can we interest you in 30% off a TYT baseball cap on the way out? If as a sort of closing offer, right? We say hit you with some merch on the way out the door.
The first 100 people that agree get a new skirt.
For the memories.
Exactly. Yeah, for the members. Yeah, new skirt, a TYT new skirt. Exactly.
Thank you for being a member all this time. I appreciate it. But in my opinion, what your misunderstanding is, and what you have maybe you didn't see is, so all this kerfuffle starts with a simple tweet, and then at least half a dozen videos from other progressives or leftists online, all attacking us and calling us all sorts of names. So maybe you don't see that, so you think, like, well, what is Cenk so upset about, right? So they call us all these names, and they feel super proud about it, like, we are more pure. So then I fight back on Twitter, and then all of a sudden they're like, how could you insult us? All we were doing was punching you in the face. No, that's a right-wing position. You punch, then you gotta expect that I'm gonna counter, right? I don't mean you, Kid Tested. I mean, for folks who are out there, here, I'll name the name. Lance from the Serps. He's on here all the time on the Power Panel, right? And he comes out and does this video about how he's so correct and, oh yeah, the Young Turks, correct? No, Lance, you're not goddamn correct. Nobody elected you. The polling shows no one agrees with you. Your 12 buddies online, I don't care, okay? And say, oh yeah, I'm 100%, he's 99.95% correct. Oh, I'm gonna correct him. No. So don't, look, you wanna say, hey, I don't agree with you, God bless. You wanna say, Cenk, you shouldn't say anything back because you're being rude. Come on, brother or sister. I don't know what your
I just gotta be honest. I just don't really care to collaborate with any other leftist ever again at this point.
Yeah,
that's where I'm at, because they come on the show, they build a name for themselves, and then they build a bigger name for themselves, trashing us as if they don't know who we are, as if they haven't worked with us, they don't know what our actual political values are. So I don't, Jake, I never want to talk about them again. I never want to address them again. It's a waste of time. There's important stuff going on in the country. Our personal drama with a bunch of leftists on Twitter doesn't matter.
All right, last thing I'm going to say on it, because you brought it up, is that I'm not.
This is what we're going to be saying about you in 5 years.
Oh, fuck you.
We brought Tusker on the show.
I know.
It has so much skepticism that I'm not.
We don't collaborate with communists anymore.
But,
come on.
Now she's calling for us to be hung in Central Park.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Right in the brainstem, Russell. Right in the brainstem.
All right. You're telling me the Young Turks are running a multi-million-dollar operation and Anna just got up one morning and tweeted about her uterus? No way. They knew exactly what they were doing. They have been pivoting into this lane for a while now. It started with the Russiagate. this has been ongoing. They are trying to set themselves in kind of an anti-woke, enough for the progressives to keep some of them on board, but MSNBC-ish enough. There are a lot of those libs, man. There are a lot of those libs. They want to get some of those Pod Save America people. They want to be credibly progressive enough to hold on to what I call the day walkers, the people who really do believe in Medicare for all, but are kind of shit libby. They want to hold on to those. They're trying to build a coalition. That's what
they did this with the crime too, with the Cenk supporting Rick Caruso, and Anna speaking about crime.
Talking about crime, and they're going to support the more conservative candidate for the LA mayor. Look, you got to go back. I didn't actually
and the homeless,
go back.
yes, indeed.
The homeless. I didn't go back and find the video, but we showed this on a segment about the Young Turks as a business enterprise that we did a while ago. There's a rather infamous video back in their Howard Stern days. Not only, did Cenk do a whole segment talking about women's vaginas and Britney Spears' body parts and all of this stuff. He did that. But they had a whole segment where he sent Anna to a mall basically to see if she could hoe herself out for shoes.
Yeah, here it is. And look, we don't have the video.
You pulled it.
Well, not the video because the video was too long and I didn't have time to edit it, but I have something that's actually even better. I have a graphic and the headline of the video that says it all. There you go.
Yes.
So
yes. She shows
they
that
put out. And
she basically she basically flirted with a guy and got him to buy her expensive shoes. That was the show they started.
And then they titled the video "Woman Uses Sex Appeal and Makes a Guy Buy Her Shoes." So it's not like we are interpreting it in an uncharitable way. No, that's what they were going for.
That's
if
exactly
you guys want, I can go grab a high heel and you can make this. Like I can hold it up in the same way, and you guys can make it. I'd be happy to go do that.
and then people can throw it back in our face later.
Right.
No,
yeah, exactly.
No.
Right.
See, this is what you commies do. You infiltrate.
Right.
Oh, God damn it! Quit.
No, so they've always been these people, man. They've always been these people. They started out doing a very Howard Stern shock jock kind of a show, very misogynistic kind of a show. And then they said, hey, man, there's some money to be made in this Bernie Sanders shit. Look at these people. They're very online. They jumped onto that, reshaped themselves as these progressives.
Yeah.
And now I think they can see like, okay, so if you put it all in the context of a lot of what we've been talking about, Kyle, these people Crystal jumping on the Marianne Williamson thing. They're trying to play the old game, which we ourselves are saying is not going to work. That's not man, you might juice your subs a little, but not much. They're thinking ahead and they're saying, you know what? The future for us, if we want to maintain or grow our audience, we got to get the shit lib adjacent people. And if we can hold enough of the Bernie people and, get the anti-woke people because the backlash to that is clearly coming. That's our new coalition. So I think they intentionally provoked this. I don't think there is any
into a corner.
Well, on purpose. Like I don't think there's any way that Anna can do something like that without talking to Cenk first. No, that's not what
I'm talking about. I'm talking about like you're correct. Back in the day, it was more like of a shock jock, just like whatever. They were just trying to find something that worked. They went wherever the wind blew, whatever. Once they started actually taking off, it was definitely aligned with a leftist bent.
Yeah, sure.
And so what they're struggling with is they're struggling with maintaining leftist credibility while trying to find a different place to fit in, because there are people that just because it's grown in popularity, there are people that are much more relevant and much more analytical than they are. And so now they're trying to carve out a new space, and they're trying to align themselves where they think that they're going to be able to continue to perpetuate an audience or continue to at least get funding. Like they accidentally fell into the left swing space. They were always just looking for money.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. There's no way they did this by accident. There was no way that they have a multi-million-dollar business where Anna just wakes up and says something that a good portion of their subscriber base is going to be furious about.
And look, it worked. They were able to convene an entire panel of these people to really go. What is the term the kids are using these days? Ham, like really go ham on this clip and really freak out about it.
Well, look,
really
that Bernie campaign, that Bernie 2016 campaign, the further that is back in the rearview mirror, the more they're going to distance themselves from that brand, because a lot of us came to know TYT as the network for the Bernie campaign in 2016. That's when a lot of people came to know them because their subs really spiked at that time. But that was really just one incarnation among many. Yes. That the show has taken on. And that's what Russ is saying, is like they started out this shock jock thing. They didn't brand themselves originally as the Bernie left. They went there because they knew that was lucrative. In 2020, they didn't even endorse Bernie Sanders until like the week before Iowa. They were on the fence about Elizabeth Warren and Bernie because they knew that their audience was on the fence about Elizabeth Warren and Bernie.
Exactly. Exactly.
They have always been opportunists. It's just that so many people discovered them during that 2016 campaign that we didn't really realize it until they started changing again. And when they changed again, we're like, oh, you sold out. Well, no, they've been sellouts from day one. Whether it's sending Anna into a shoe store or supporting Caruso for mayor or the homeless stuff, all that kind of rhetoric. And now this.
Please clap.